Hey, folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here at the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North. I'm on Instagram at Alliance PW Network, or you could join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Okay, so at No Surrender, Moose successfully defended the Impact Wrestling World title against W. Morrissey as expected. It was a great match, but Moose retained the title, was victorious in that match. And so you have to think who's going to be the next big challenger for Moose. And I'm thinking, who's going to main event with Moose at Rebellion? Yes, their sacrifice is coming up, and I know who is most likely going to be Moose's opponent at Sacrifice, but I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. Let's just say it's nothing to really get excited about. It's just a way to give Moose another victory. So his opponent will be we'll probably find out who it is tonight. Like I said, I know who it is, but I'm not going to give it away. So anyone watching now, you're most likely going to find out tonight who his next opponent is going to be tonight. But again, it's nothing to really get excited about. So let's skip over Sacrifice, go to Rebellion. Who's going to main event at Rebellion against Moose? It has to be a big name match, first of all. And when you think about who's in Impact Wrestling right now, who potentially could fill that spot to be Moose's challenger, you have Eddie Edwards, who just turned his back on Team Impact Wrestling, joining Honor No More. There's Rich Swann, you have Willie Mack, you have Chris Sabin, possibly Trey Miguel, possibly cashing in option C, but none of them are really exciting. I mean, they're not fresh matches, especially with Moose against Eddie Edwards, Moose against Rich Swann. Just using some examples, they're not really fresh matches. Nothing to get excited about. And Moose against Trey Miguel, well, it would be a good match. I don't think it's the main event match that you want to put up at Rebellion. So who would be? And with Josh Alexander basically gone from Impact Wrestling, there's really nobody else. I mean, he can't do another match with W. Morrissey. So who would it be? Who can who is big enough to main event Rebellion with Moose? There's one guy in my opinion, and that's Jay White. Yes, you're saying Jay White, not an Impact Wrestling guy. He's from New Japan Pro Wrestling, but so what? So what? Jay White, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, former IWGP Intercontinental Champion, former IWGP United States Champion, former never openweight champion. He's the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Grand Slam champion. He's held all the titles. He's one of the best in the world. He was ranked 19th, I think, in 2019 and 2020 in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500. One of the best wrestlers in the world. He had a killer match, just an outstanding match against Eric Young. He's had classic matches against Okada, against Ibushi, against Tetsuya Naito. Just simply one of the best wrestlers in the world today. And I think Moose defending the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship at Rebellion against Jay White would be absolutely pure fire. I think they would tear the house down, and it would be a big time main event. It would be a big time main event, and there are so many scenarios that you could work in having such a match. And setting up the match is very easy. Very easy. Jay White comes to the ring. There's right after Sacrifice. Actually, at Sacrifice, let me step back for a second. At Sacrifice, he's taking on Alex Shelley, and he's going to defeat Alex Shelley. He's not losing to Alex Shelley. So after he gets by Alex Shelley, they're going to be in Philadelphia at the Road to Rebellion. Have Jay White go into the ring and have Jay White talk about how he's the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Grand Slam champion, all the belts, all the titles that he held in New Japan Pro Wrestling, how he's the leader of the Bullet Club, and he is the best wrestler in the world today. And boom, Moose's music hits. When he hears that, he comes to the ring and he claims to be the best wrestler in the world today. And then there we have it. That's the start of the feud, Moose and Jay White. And the Bullet Club can get involved. Jay White's got the Bullet Club, the Good Brothers, and Chris Bay backing him up. They could battle Moose for a bit. They could get the advantage on Moose, take Moose out a couple of times. Moose needs some help. And where does he go? Where does he go? Who does he bring in? The Gorillas of Destiny, right? The Gorillas of Destiny will be in Moose's corner, would be in Moose's corner at Rebellion, or at Rebellion, the Bullet Club get involved, and Gorillas of Destiny music hits. They come out and they clear the ring, and then it's just one-on-one Moose against Jay White. I think that would be fantastic. Again, this is just me fantasy booking right now. There's nothing official on this, but I think it will be a big time main event. And they're going to be at the Mid Hudson Civic Center, and that holds over 3,000 people. And if they want to sell out that venue, they want to sell out Rebellion, they're going to need a big time main event. And right now, in my opinion, unless Josh Alexander comes back, the big time main event, even if Josh Alexander does come back, I think this is a bigger main event, in my opinion. Moose against Jay White. Moose defending the Impact Wrestling World's Heavyweight Championship against Bullet Club member, New Japan Pro Wrestling Grand Slam champion Jay White would be absolutely fire. They would blow the roof off the Mid Hudson Civic Center. They would blow the roof off that venue. It would just be an absolute tremendous. Dave Meltzer would give it 5 stars, man. Dave Meltzer would be writing 3, but then his hand would go out 5. Give it 5 stars. It would be just a fantastic match. I mean, Jay White against Eric Young was fantastic. Jay White against Alex Shelley is going to be terrific. Moose, anytime Moose is in the ring, it's just tremendous as well. Now you got to think, who's going to be victorious though? Who's going to be victorious now? It'd be great for Moose to get a victory over Jay White. Again, Jay White being the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Grand Slam champion, holding every singles title in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Moose getting a victory over Jay White would really cement Moose as one of the absolute best in the world today. It would really cement him as one of the best in the world today. But there's a small issue. Moose is injured, and I saw this here today. Moose says that he's currently working through a torn labrum, and he's going to eventually need to take time off the heel, which means if he's going to take time off the heel, he's going to have to drop the title. And I would not be opposed. I would be very much in favor of Jay White being the one to defeat Moose for the Impact Wrestling World Championship. And then Moose has to take time off the heel and let Jay White hold that title for a while. Let Jay White take the title back to Japan. Let him defend it on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong here in the in North America. Let him take it back to Japan as well and defend it against Tomohiro Ishii, defend it against Tetsuya Naito, defend it against Sanada, defend it against Hiroki Goto, defend it against Yoshihashi. Let him do that. Let him bring the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship to Japan and defend it more of on a world scale, make it more of a world title. And then when Moose heals up, Moose could travel to Japan. Of course, Jay White will come back to the U.S. and defend the belt on U.S. soil for Impact Wrestling events. But say he's in Japan at the time and Moose is ready to come back. Moose makes a surprise appearance at the Korakuen Hall, and then we have a main event. Jay White defending the Impact Wrestling World Championship against Moose at Korakuen Hall or at the Tokyo Dome. How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? That would be fantastic. That's why it's me, again, fantasy booking. This is just in my head. I think big money match needs to be the main event at Rebellion, and there's nothing bigger right now in Impact Wrestling, in my opinion, than Moose defending the Impact Wrestling World Championship against Jay White. That would be just fantastic. And now, yeah, you could say AEW has their claws in Jay White, but who gives a crap? Really, who gives a crap? Or whether they're gonna have him, go one-on-one with Orange Cassidy? Is he gonna be in the corner of the Young Bucks when Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta they take on Orange Cassidy and True? Who cares, right? Who cares? Tony Khan is a weasel, in my opinion. Yeah, just a little bit of a weasel, but that doesn't matter. AEW has not to worry about AEW when it comes to Jay White, but this would be a big money match for Impact Wrestling. Big money match for Impact Wrestling, and it would be the perfect main event for Rebellion. And I would love to see it. Hopefully, they're going to go in that direction. hopefully they will go in that direction. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I don't know if they're going to go, but I hope so. Just imagine Moose backed up by the Gorillas of Destiny taking on Jay White, who's backed up by the Good Brothers and Chris Bay. And that would be so phenomenal. That would be just fantastic. Excuse me, just fantastic, and I hope it happens because I like I said, I think Moose and Jay White would give us an absolutely tremendous match, and it would tear the roof of the mid Hudson Civic Center without a doubt, and it would create a lot of buzz in the professional wrestling world. I know New Japan Pro Wrestling they would plug it, they would push it, they would promote it, they would show it on New Japan Pro Wrestling World. Um, it would just be fantastic. I think that's the direction they should go. That's how I feel. Anyway, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. I'm watching the news. Anything breaks, I'll of course be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.